Hi crafty friends, it's Lacy here, and today I am on the Doodlebug YouTube Hop with EricaRose Creates. I am prepping my 12 by 12 layout. This is white piece of cardstock with some clear gesso. I'm going to do a little bit mixed media on the background here. I'm just using a hotel card that I swiped from a hotel, and then I'm just putting an excess on another piece of cardstock so that I can use later. This will dry really quick because it's just a thin layer. So I am using the Doodlebug Petite Spring Print Assortment. I thought this would be fun, so it's not super Eastery, but has some bright, beautiful colors. And I'm using gelatos to add some mixed media coloring on the back. I'm just going to test my colors out here to make sure that they match the papers I have chosen. I will list all these colors on my blog, so head over to my blog to check out the colors I used. I was just kind of looking for what would be best matches. I didn't have exact matches for some of the colors, but I think I found some pretty good matches out of this bunch. I'm just swiping it with my finger because the thing of gelatos is you can move it around with your finger, you can move it around with water. So I just wanted to see how it's smeared. All right, so I am using a rainbow of paper for my background, and I'm just cutting like a little bit bigger than 2-inch strips of the pattern paper that I chose. These I'm going to tear, and then I'm going to add clear gesso to the end that I tear because I'm going to add the gelatos to kind of like continue the color on the backgrounds. So I'm just kind of laying them out in color order here, rainbow order, and then I'm just going to tear. I don't think about it too much, just kind of like placement, so I go about halfway. So I am just kind of seeing where my photo is going to go, and then I'm just glue this down. I'm going to use a liquid glue. Oh, actually first I gesso these. So I gesso the ends with that clear gesso. I'm not being really neat about it by any means. And I'm using that extra gesso paper that this is not my actual background. I'm using the one that I can just use at a later date. So again, a thin layer. These won't take long to dry. Now that I set it aside, my background should be dry, and then already this pink piece is already dry. This is the first one I did. So I am going to use, like I said, some liquid glue, and this is the Barely Art Glue. I love this stuff. It has a very precision tip. It has another tip, but I never put it on. And then I'm just going to adhere these down to the edge of the paper, and I'm starting with the top and then the bottom. Sorry, my dog is in the room. My son keeps wanting to come in, and then the dog is stuck in here right now. So if you hear whimpering, it's my dog wanting to get out. All right, so I let her out of the room now. So I'm just adhering these down to the paper. I just wanted to use the liquid glue because I felt like it would adhere a little bit better since I'm going to be adding water to this and the gelatos. I kind of lining them up on the side of my mat and overlapping just a little bit so that there's no white gap between each of them. All right, there we go. This paper will warp just because I'm using water. I'm using these gelatos, so it will warp a little bit. I got these trays at Hobby Lobby a few years ago for like $3, if not less. And they're just fun to do a little bit mixed media on it. I have 3 of them. I don't even know where the other 2 are, but anyways, so here I am just applying the gelatos. It looks like a mess. Some of them colors like work really well with the paper, and some are a little off, but you won't notice. It's still close enough to look amazing. So I first go in with my finger. I think I abandoned this method shortly. Yes, I abandoned that method pretty shortly. I still go in with my finger. but I sprayed directly, if I can talk, onto my page. I do clean my finger off between colors, that way they don't blend too much together, or I make a new color. So I do try to clean my fingers off between, or use a different finger for each color. Honestly, I could have left it like this, but I decided to go crazy and spray this whole thing and let those colors bleed. I just love how gelatos work and bleed, and they're so fun. So if you haven't used them, I highly suggest get some. I will link them on my blog. I have quite a few, so I forget, I don't use them enough. I need to use them more, but I love how they mix together. Okay, now I am changing my photo. I decided the other one was just too colorful, and so I'm going to go with this full of sunshine image of my son. I printed in black and white since there's so much color, and I'm just using the back sides of the papers that I tore to make like a little photo map behind the photo. And I'm using the other side, so on the other side of that purple is that bright purple with the flowers. I just wanted to kind of zoom in so you could see a little bit better what I was doing. Just adhering it on with some tear tape. I love tear tape. It's so easy. It makes life so easy. So just adding this to, I'm going to use all the colors too. I was originally not use the yellow, but then I decided it looked better with the yellow, so I do use the yellow as well. I don't know what I'm doing here. My son interrupts me too sometimes when I'm working because he just loves to be in the same room as me. So sometimes if you see a little quick pause, it might be because he came to visit me. Alright, so now I'm deciding what I'm going to do for my title, and I have a few different things pulled out, and I'm just not sure what I wanted to do yet, and these are just other things I'm going to be using potentially in my layout. At this stage, I'm kind of just trying to figure things out. So, I decided not to use that Color Cast Designs acrylic piece. You will see me do this in a second, but I do want to mention that I don't end up using that. I am going to use this 3M tape on the back of my photo. I do input it attach it inside the back side a little bit so that way I can layer things underneath it more easily without like ripping it off from my layout. Like I said, I decided not to use that color cast. I'm going to use these Dear Lizzy, I don't even know how old these are, but these Dear Lizzy chipboard pieces. I'm going to do the Love This, but I'm going to cut the D off because I wanted to just say Love This, not Loved. And then I will just adhere this to my layout. Please note, these are old, so they do not stick very well, and I'm trying to stick it on a background that has a lot of texture to it. So I do use liquid adhesive to add those a little bit. Prior to that, though, I do want to make this a little bit more not warped, I should say. So I use this thicker tear tape to just kind of add my background to just another piece of cardstock, just so it's less warpy. Is warpy even a word? I'm going to use a squeegee thingy, I don't know what you want to call it, and just get that pressed down. I can trim off any edge of little white that is left over, but this just kind of flattens my layout just a little bit more. I'm also going to go through this 12 by 12. I like some of these little cards, and I'm going to add that to my layout as well. I kind of skip around a lot. I don't know. Maybe this is how I craft. I also come in and out of, like, one day I'll scrapbook and then I'll come back to it 2 days later. So, and one day I might have a different idea than 2 days prior. It's interesting how that works. Anyways, let me know if you scrap like one day and then don't come back to it right away. It's not just because I maybe don't know what to do. I usually do kind of have ideas. It's just time. Having a toddler who needs you a lot sometimes makes it hard to come back every day to a project, and owning a business. So on the back side, I only did take the adhesive off the one edge and then a little portion on the bottom because I do want to tuck things behind it, but then it also still gives it the dimension. Here again, I said I'm using liquid glue to adhere the title to this. This will help it stay for a lot longer period, especially since this wasn't sticking anyways because of the mixed media background and the gesso. I'm also going to be using some Scrap and Happy Studio epoxy flare. I'm using this Good Fun from this set. And then I decided I'm going to cut this down just because it just was peeking up too far. And I needed kind of that section on the bottom to hold it in place anyways. I just adhered this epoxy sticker with my tear tape. It sticks really well with that. So I found that's a really good way to adhere it down. And I'm just going to start embellishing. I'm deciding what I want to do, where I want to put things. This is a very Eastery themed set, and this is not necessarily an Eastery themed picture. As you see, there's still snow in the picture. My son likes being outside, whether it's cold or whether it's warm. He just enjoys being outside. I don't feel like the cold even affects him, which just baffles my husband and I because we both love warm weather and don't like the cold weather. So, but my son just doesn't mind. Whatever the weather is, he's outside. And so that's really what I'm documenting right here is how much he loves to be outside. All right, I'm going to adhere this scallop border, and I'll put the other portion on the back side just for the sticky part. Sorry, my head gets away a little bit. And then I'm just going to use my, this is what I use for stamping when I emboss, it's like a powder tool, and it just makes it not sticky in the part that was sticky. And also, because this is a mixed media area and they weren't adhering to the gesso part, gluing these down with some liquid glue, and then I'll put something heavy on top to help them stick. All right, now I'm just going to embellish with the different stickers and different things that are in on the sticker sheet or just random embellishments. At this stage, I feel like a lot is missing. I feel like I need something else. And I do step away for a moment to cut up some flowers. First, I'm going to try to adhere these hearts. I just do a few around the title and then feel like I didn't need any more than that. So here's where I stepped away and I cut out these Tim Holtz flowers. Hey, I really need some like fun, cute, smaller die cut flowers that are a little bit more playful. These worked great, but so if you have a suggestion of like a die cut flowers that you really like that you don't need a stamp with them, just like a standalone die cut flower. On the smaller side, I have some larger ones, but on the smaller side, let me know in the comment section. All right. So here I am just kind of assembling these flowers and putting them in like the enamel dots on them and then just adhering them to my page. And this will kind of finish out my layout. So thank you for joining me today. And don't forget to stop by all the other videos on this hop. And thank you so much to Erica for hosting this. And also leave comment in the section on my blog to win a gift card to my Etsy shop for digital cup files. Thank you again. Have a great day.